I completely changed my network, thanks to which I started to make 30 times more money than before. I almost found myself and realized one important secret. But first things first, show me your friends and I'll tell you your future. Have you heard this expression? There's actually a lot of meaning behind it. Look around and analyze 5 people with whom you communicate the most. Maybe you go chill with them, maybe you work with them together, or even, I don't know, play video games and have a chat. What are they doing? Do you want to be like them? Do they lead a decent life to imitate? This is important because around 1/3 of all our habits we adopt from them, as well as from our family members. You can argue, no way, I create myself. Yes, I understand you, man, but the statistics says otherwise. We are mostly changed by the pressure of our environment. And yes, it all starts in the childhood. When we're born, when we enter this world, we're met by our partners. They explain us how this world works. They show us how to communicate with different people. They teach us some new essential skills and tell us what's bad and what's good. In first year and a half, every child learns basic about this world through eyesight, emotions, sounds, and so on. Then, up to the age of 7, the child forms the foundation of the future socialization. In this moment, he already has a lot of things inside his head about this world. Here, the good psychologist already can name some traits that will develop in the future and also make reasonable guesses about the future role in the society. Is everything already pre-distributed by this age? Of course not. We know a lot of stories about how people changed in their 20s, 40s, even 60s. I just want to say that first years of our life have a serious impact on the trajectory that we stick to in the future. But I really doubt that many children under 7 watching me. So what's about the older age? In fact, everything is very simple, but at the same time quite difficult because of many nuances. Every person is a social being, and our character is dictated first by our genes and second by our society where we basically live. I don't know a lot about genes, so let me be focused on the second one. If you stay in touch with millionaires long and close enough, most probably there is a high degree of probability that sooner or later you'll become one of them. If you spend your time with people who didn't achieve a lot in their life and they always blame themselves because of it, nothing good will happen, you will do the same. I want to tell you one interesting story about how I decided to completely changed my network, and also let me share with you several outcomes that I made that time. I spent my first 20 years in an area when everybody were quite relaxed. They didn't try to make something incredible and enter the big league. I visited an ordinary school, I was in touch with ordinary children, and before the age of 16 I didn't have a lot of ambitions. After that age I started to understand that something is not going according to the plan because I wanted to grow, but I didn't see such intentions in my friends. At that age I started my first retail business, but now we're not talking about it and not even talking about that particular time. I was 21 when I left my hometown and moved to Moscow to enter the university, and that was the moment when all the changes started. Firstly, I realized how many people in fact around me, they had different interests and I wasn't able to show them something, to explain them something important, because it wasn't important for them, and I also didn't have any opportunity to teach from them. And secondly, I just simply stopped communicating with 95% of such people. And now I understand that back in the days it was one of the greatest decisions I made at the time. As I said in the very beginning of this video, I increased my income dramatically, and I managed to do this basically because I met people who are smarter than me. At that age I felt that I'm not 21, maybe I'm 1 year old, because everything I knew before was starting to just turn upside down. I want to share with you 3 conclusions that I made when I started to change my environment, and I really believe that they will be useful for you. First, you do what people in your network do, adopting their experience and behavior. This is true. This is what I saw incredible amount of times, I can't even count them. And this is also written in every book about networking. Imagine a smoky room where everyone is sitting with a cigarette. Even if you come there for 1 minute and then leave, you will smell like a smoker. Emerging in any society is like a drop of paint in the glass of the water. The consequences will be in any case. If everybody around you is talking about the American football, doesn't matter if you want or not, but you will be involved. And it's not necessary for you to be a fan. You just will hear on every corner about the results of one more match, about the performance of famous players, and sooner or later, but you will be closer to this. I had the similar situation. When I started my master degree in Moscow, all the people, all the students around me, they were inspired by the opportunity to join Big 3 or Big 4 company. It was considered kinda cool because those companies, they were able to provide a student with a quite decent salary and at the same moment to give them good start for the future career. And I also wondered why I always hear about McKinsey, BCG, Bain, PwC, KPMG, and so on. And I decided to try myself there. I got a job in one of those companies, and you know what? I got disappointed and very upset. For me, this work was too monotonous, and I didn't see any reasonable incentives to stay there in order to grow. You know, in sales, for example, even in terms of money, in sales you can make much more profit comparing to consulting. It wasn't my experience. I don't want to say that it was a mistake to try myself in this industry and understand that it doesn't suit me. No, it's not true, because you have to try in order to understand. It's better to understand such things on your personal experience. But I want to say that usually we take more from our environment than we need. And that's totally okay if it's about the company where you currently work. But what if we are talking about fundamental principles on which our thinking is built? What if people around you, they are always in a bad mood, they start to talk to you and they only complain on their poor life, they share this negative with you? That's not good, man. Sooner or later you will start doing the same, and there is no doubt in it. And you know what I would like to say? It's much easier to change the industry or the company comparing to this stuff, comparing to rebuild your mindset. I can offer you to do one useful practice that will show you the real face of your network and will help you to understand what to do next. Take a piece of paper and a pen, and it's better to find a place where nothing will distract you. Turn off your phone or at least use your headphones. Write down the list of people with whom you interact regularly. It could be your family, your friends, even somebody with whom you play Dota 2. It doesn't matter. The main idea here is just to make this list out of people with whom you spend time together. Then, next to each name, write down 3 words that characterize this person the best. It's about what he or she is doing in his life. And after that, write 3 words about the most obvious qualities of this person. I'm talking about his or her behavior. Now think about where this person will be in 5 to 10 years if he or she continues to do the same stuff as he is doing right now. Do you like it? Now look at your list once again. What do you see? Do you understand that in 5 years, I don't know, in 5, 6, 7, doesn't matter to be honest, but in the future you will be somewhere between all of them, because you'll adopt a little from each and it will be something like a gold medal. But do you like this gold medal in fact? Why do you need to be limited by their achievements? Maybe it's better to go beyond the framework. And this is actually what my next advice is about. Conclusion number 2. It's harder to grow staying at the same network than changing it. Imagine 2 apples. One's just picked from the tree, it's juicy, fresh and tasty. And the second apple already started to rot, so you don't want to eat it anymore. What will you do in this case? Will you prefer the first apple that was quite good to consume, or maybe you'll try to refresh the second one? I understand, this is quite cynical association. Of course, people are not apples, they can be treated like an items. I don't support it. But my analogy is accurate enough. You can already feel that something is going not okay, something is wrong with your closest circle. They can simply be different from goals of people who surround you. For instance, if you want to develop your own business and make it big, but your closest friends want to become a cyber sportsman, something has to be changed. No one says that their path is wrong. That's not right, because they have different incentives. But if to compare it with yours, following them can even delay your goals. Just think about it. The growth happens there where you put a lot of your attention, the majority of it, correct? So why always spray it? The real defocus happens when you're surrounded by people who don't actually share your area of interest, because you constantly will hear from them about different ways to develop, but there are know your ways. It's much easier to move forward if your network is sharing your ideas, and this is the amazing stuff about communities of interest. They will allow you to plunge into the new ecosystem that will push you forward and give you the right charge. If you want to grow your business, it's not necessary for you to know about the results of the next Mortal Kombat tournament. Do you know what I mean? In general, I want to explain. There is no point for you to sit and wait until this rotten apple it will regenerate. Just find a new one. And my third conclusion. Listen, it's never too late to start working on your network. In general, there are very few things that are too late to start doing. Almost everything can be fixed, can be changed. I rethought my surrounding just a couple of years ago, and was it a mistake because it's too late? No, I don't think so at all. Many people always say that it's too late to create a YouTube channel, it's too late to invest in crypto, it's too late to change your habits. I believe that the best moment to do something is now. It's not tomorrow, it's not yesterday. And by the way, I have a tattoo and it's talking about it, so I'll tell you about it later in the future videos, not now. If you regret that you didn't make an important step somewhere there in the past, just try to be focused on your present and your future. I know it's much easier to say than to do, but my personal advice, try to do your best in order to understand how to get rid of all these negative memories that interfere you right now. We need to think about today as well as about where our current actions will bring us in the future. Will it be grateful for you if, let's say, in 1 year from this particular day, you will look back and understand that, man, actually, the best moment to do this particular step that you are thinking about right now was now. Now, I mean, when you are watching this video, you'll be very sorry for your lost time and nobody will be able to give it back to you. It's not about cash, it's not about money when you can just earn more in the future, and not even about the health that can be partially restored. Time is the most valuable resource because it's not renewable. Nobody will print you 1 more year in order to allow you to go back in time to have a rest and only after that come to work. But what we can do is to make the most of our time. What I mean is to make ourselves tomorrow to be proud of our today's actions. Therefore, remember, if you are sitting and thinking when to make the first step, do it now. Do you need to find new people? That's amazing, that's a small victory that you understand it. I can congratulate you. Now you need to find out more about where they spend their time and then just go there and meet them. Nothing difficult. What to do with your current friends is totally up to you, of course. It's your decision. But as for me, I made my choice. If I see that there is somebody who harms me, I just stop communicating with this guy. To summarize, I would like to repeat, in many ways we become what our environment is. If you communicate with winners, that's amazing, congrats man. Because sooner or later, most probably you'll become one of them, or maybe you're now the winner. It's even better. If you communicate with losers, nothing good will happen out of it. And please don't be afraid to take steps towards the change, because they'll push the progress. Because of them you will grow. Guys, thank you very much that you are watching my videos, my channel. Thank you that you subscribed. By the way, if you're not subscribed, push the button and follow my channel. If you like this video, give me your like. If you don't, give me your dislike. And really hope to see you tomorrow.